Let's dive right in. If your dinner table feels more like a battlefield than a family meal, you are definitely in the right place. Believe it or not, there's a simple rule, born in France, that can completely change your meal times. And we're going to break down exactly how it works. Ugh, those three little words. They can just instantly deflate you, can't they? You've spent time cooking, you've put in the effort, and you're met with that. It's a moment of pure frustration that just plays out in homes all over the world, night after night. I'm guessing it does. It's that sinking feeling,
Come on,
right?
sweetie, just
Where you're
one bite.
stuck
It's
between
very good
begging
for
them to
you.
take just one tiny
I
bite
don't
and
want
just giving up and
Please,
making
just try a
another
little bit.
plate of mac and cheese. You're doing all of this out of love, but man, it feels like a battle you just can't win. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to look at the mealtime battlefield and figure out what's going wrong. Then, we'll get into the biology of no. It's fascinating. After that, it's the main event, the one meal rule, followed by the two secret pillars that make it all work. Then I'll give you a step-by-step guide and finally prepare you for those first tricky weeks. Okay, let's start here. And look, it's so important to know that every single thing you've been doing comes from a good place. You just want your kid to eat. But sometimes our best intentions, well, they backfire. We're going to look at a few common habits that actually, unintentionally, make picky eating even worse. These are the big
Come
three
on, honey, just
culprits.
try a little
When
bit.
we
It's
offer a
so
backup
good.
meal, what we're really teaching them is, hey, if you protest, you'll get what you want. When we use pressure, even if it's positive, like, good job, we just turn dinner into a power struggle. And constant grazing, well, that robs us of the most powerful tool we have, actual hunger. All right, this part is a total game changer. What if I told you that your child's constant no isn't about them being difficult? What if it's just biology? There are really powerful developmental reasons for their resistance, and once you understand the why behind it, changing the behavior gets so much easier. So it starts with this thing called neophobia. It sounds fancy, but all it means is a fear of new foods. And this is actually a hardwired survival instinct. You know, it kept our ancestors from eating poisonous berries. So your child isn't being stubborn, their brain is literally running an ancient safety program. It's a totally normal part of growing up. And then you've got the control paradox. Seriously, think about it. If someone was hovering over you demanding you finish your plate, how would you feel? You'd probably get annoyed and push back, right? Well, kids are exactly the same. They are wired to protect their sense of control. The research is super clear on this. The more you push, the more they resist, and the less they actually eat. This slide just lays it all out so clearly. On the left, you've got all those classic pressure tactics that we all fall into. And on the right, the French approach. It just completely sidesteps the power struggle. The goal is no longer about cleaning the plate, it's about curiosity and exploration. So, what is the alternative? Well, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. The French call le menu unique, the single menu. The rule is incredibly simple. One family, one meal. That's it. No special orders, no being a short order cook. Now, this might sound kinda strict, but it's actually so freeing for everyone. It's all based on the golden rule of feeding, which divides up the responsibilities really clearly. Your job is the what, when, and where of the meal. Your child's job is to decide if they eat and how much. You're in charge of the menu, they're in charge of their appetite. But just making one meal isn't quite the whole story. And this is the part that people almost always miss. The whole system is held up by two absolutely essential, non-negotiable pillars. Without these two things, the one meal rule, well, it's probably going to fail. Okay, pillar number one is the mandatory taste. And this sentence right here is your new mantra. You don't have to like it, but you do have to taste it. The goal here isn't about consumption. It's about exposure. It's about getting their brain and their palate familiar with something new. Just one small, polite taste. That's the only rule. And why is that one little taste so important? Because the science is crystal clear. It can take a child up to 15 separate times trying a food before their brain goes, okay, this is safe and familiar. 15. Most of us, and I totally get it, we give up after try number 3 or 4. You have to play the long game here. So that's pillar 1. But honestly, it's pretty useless without pillar number 2. Because in most of our homes, there is a key ingredient missing from the dinner table: real, actual hunger. We're so worried about our kids being hungry that they never actually arrive at the table truly hungry. This right here is the biological switch that makes everything else fall into place. Pillar number 2 is creating a hunger window. What does that mean? It means at least 2 hours before dinner, 3 is even better, with absolutely no snacks, only water. This isn't a punishment, it's about biology. It resets their natural appetite so they are physically ready and motivated to eat dinner. All right, we have covered the what and the why. So now let's talk about the how. This is your actual playbook. This is what you can do, starting with dinner tonight. Okay, step 1, serve one meal for everybody, but, and this is key, always include one safe food you know they'll eat, like some plain rice or bread. Step 2, enforce that one polite taste rule for everything on the plate. Step 3, after they've tasted it, your job is done. They decide if they eat more. Step 4, stick to the schedule. When dinner's over, the kitchen's closed. And step 5, this is a big one, don't say anything about how much they ate. No praise for a clean plate, no sighing over a full one. And here is a brilliant little hack for handling that polite taste. Instead of asking, "Do you like it?" which is just a yes or no question that invites a fight, you use sensory talk. Turn it into a little discovery game. Is that carrot crunchy or soft? Is the sauce more sweet or savory? You're not judging it, you're just exploring it together. Okay, so a quick heads up. You're about to change a family dynamic that's been in place for a while, and that doesn't just happen overnight. It's really important to have realistic expectations for what these first couple of weeks are going to feel like. So expect the first few days to be a test. Your child's going to push on these new rules to see if you're serious. But then, usually around day 4 or 5, biology wins. Hunger takes over, and you'll see a little shift. Give it about a month, maybe 6 weeks, and those struggles they start to fade away. And you'll have a new, much more peaceful, normal. This is the number one fear every parent has, so let's just tackle it head on. A healthy child will not let themselves starve. It's just not how they're wired. If they're genuinely hungry and there is at least one safe food on their plate, their survival instincts will kick in. One light dinner isn't going to harm them. What is harmful is the long-term lesson that if they throw a fit, they get a custom-made meal. So really, what this all comes down to is your role at the dinner table is changing. You're not the food police anymore. You're not a personal chef. Your job now is to just be consistent, to hold this new boundary, but do it gently and with love. And then you have to trust. Trust the process, and maybe most importantly, trust your child to listen to their own body. And let's wrap up with this thought. This isn't just about winning the war over broccoli. This is so much bigger than that. You are teaching your child a fundamental life skill. You're teaching them how to be an adventurous eater, how to listen to their own hunger cues, and to see family meals as a time for connection, not conflict. And that, truly, is a gift that will nourish them for their entire life.